Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to this Season 3 wrap-up episode of Bottom of the Stream.
Welcome, welcome.
My name is Adam, and that is Nick.
And we are joined today by a third person.
We've let somebody else aboard the stream boat.
Yeah, we're in dry dock for a couple of weeks.
Social distancing allowing this?
Yes.
Good.
Because we're virtually meeting someone. And I'm going to do a little intro if that's
Cool,
all right.
do it.
So, you may be aware of some famous Rosses throughout history.
Okay.
There's famous actor and boiled egg lookalike Ross Kemp. There's famous comedian Ross Noble. Good friend Ross Geller. And famous Poldark Ross Poldark. Is he a sailor?
I have no idea.
I never watched it.
Oh, is it a show?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
And famous cooks. Rachel Lee Cook, the actress.
Yeah.
Apple CEO Tim Cook.
Yeah, good one. Good cook.
English cricketer Sir Alistair Cook.
Sir?
He is a sir.
Wow.
Dead comedian Peter Cook. And Gordon Ramsay.
It's neither a Ross or a cook.
He's a cook.
Oh, yeah, he is a cook.
So we have got someone who is our favourite Ross and our favourite cook. He's much better than any of those people. Our special guest, a very talented artist. He's responsible for our logo and all the awesome artwork that you see associated with our show. He's the third member of Bottom of the Stream.
Ooh.
It's Mr. Ross Cook. Welcome, welcome.
Hello!
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm not bad at all. I tried to do my best impression. I will just say, all those Rosses were excellent, but I hate Ross from Friends, and he is a genuine bugbear of mine. I'm doing a rewatch of Friends recently, and he's just the worst.
Well, there you go. He's a bad friend then.
It's the only one I've got a
whole
problem
rewatch
with.
of Friends?
I know, yeah.
Why?
It's simple. I like Friends. It's daft.
Me too.
I like it. I just don't know if I'd do a rewatch from the beginning. That seems a lot of commitment.
It is, but it's like 2 episodes every other day. It's not a binge watch.
Oh, okay. You're not like
Yeah,
20.
yeah.
You're not doing a season a day.
No.
Good to have you on, Ross. Thank you for doing all of our artwork forever for free. We enjoy that.
You're very welcome. I'll continue to do that.
And being a Patreon.
Yeah.
He actually pays us to do
I
our
pay
artwork.
you to do it. It's not a sustainable
bad
model,
people?
but I
we're
couldn't
bad
possibly
people.
answer that.
How did you find us, Ross? Let's go way back.
Let's go way back.
Yeah, it was a weird one. I had to think about this because it just seemed like you've always been there. But it was randomly. I was on holiday in Spain, and if I remember rightly, it was something on Reddit. I assume maybe, Adam, you put a post on Reddit talking about the podcast, and I caught it. I think it was deleted soon after, possibly by Reddit.
I got banned from Reddit for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we got in trouble for
You're not
that.
allowed to do self-promoting on Reddit. We got in trouble for it.
Well, I caught it just before that lockdown started. And yeah, so it sounded like such a good idea. I was like, well, clearly tons of people must have done exactly this idea before, and I could not find anyone else who had done it. So I was like, all right.
we were surprised.
I think at that point, maybe you had done maybe 4 or 5 episodes of the first season.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I jumped in there. So in the midst of like burning hot Spain at that point, I was watching like, what was it? Well, did you have Bait at that point, or
Bait was episode 2.
Bait was episode 2, and the zombie movie, the Irish zombie movie.
Oh,
Cured, yeah, that was later on.
yeah, that was boring as shit.
So I had that playing through my ears as I lounged about in Spain. And
So am I right in thinking that you've watched all 75 films we've ever done?
I have, yeah. Occasionally, I actually beat you guys to it. Like, for example, recently, 2036, Origin Unknown. I had watched that off my own back somehow.
Why?
I don't know. It's befuddled me as well. But yeah, I have watched all the movies.
I think we're the only 3 people in the world that have watched all 75.
What, that combination of 75 movies?
Yeah.
The odds are in our favour, yeah. We probably
so.
are.
I wonder if anybody else has.
There
If
must
anybody
be
else-
somebody.
I wonder if any of our other listeners has remained silent but do it anyway. Be nice.
Or if you imagine there is somebody out there who's watched them all, just randomly, off their own back, in that
Surely
order.
that'd be well weird. In that order as well.
No,
so-
the odds are too great.
It's like that infinite monkeys on infinite typewriters will eventually watch all 75 movies.
Absolutely. Right, shall we do some news?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I haven't got a lot of news this week. I know we've been away for a week. There still hasn't been a lot going on, but I do want to talk about the Emmys. Did you see the Emmys, Ross? Or
I
did you
didn't
see
lie.
highlights of the Emmys?
I saw bits and pieces. I was happy about Schitt's Creek.
That's what I was going to mention. Schitt's Creek won a
Of
record
course.
9 Emmys,
Amazing.
which is insane.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. They won for Outstanding Comedy, Outstanding Lead Actor, Outstanding Lead Actress, Outstanding Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress, Directing, Casting and Costumes.
Was there any that they lost?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they pretty much swept the board with what they were nominated in.
It's a good Hollywood staple, isn't it? Wait until the last series
it's
or
always
the last part, the last movie, the last instalment, and then just throw all the gold at them.
Yeah, it does happen a lot, but for all 4 of the lead actors to get roles, to get awards, I find that amazing and thoroughly deserved for all 4 of them.
Yeah, I couldn't argue with any of that.
No, not me. Dan Levy just makes me happy as a person.
Yeah.
just he's just such a nice guy. On the flip side of that, though, Ozark was completely snubbed at this year's Emmys with 18 nominations but only 1 win.
That is a wipeout.
And that win was for Best Supporting Actress for Julia Garner. Do you watch Ozark, Ross?
I've not taken the dip into Ozark. I've heard people talk about it. That and Dark sort of hover around my list one day to have a watch.
I'm the same. I've dipped
seen the
into
first
Ozark
season
either.
and never went back to it. So, in other news, since we've been gone, a couple of things have been released onto Netflix. Ratchet has come out, or Ratched. How do you say that? Ratched? Ratched.
I've been saying Ratchet my entire life until that program was released.
I think Ratchet is the transformer. Ratchet is the nurse.
I'd watch the shit out of a Transformer gone mental.
That is a Transformers. Old Transformers in a mental institute is a great idea for a show.
That is a great idea for a show. I'm up for that.
Call it
Let's
Nuts
make
and
it.
Bolts.
You draw it.
Yes,
We'll write
nuts
it.
and bolts. Well done.
Has anybody seen it?
Not yet, no.
Good. I'm glad you've not seen it because I've got an idea of something I want to do with it.
Okay.
So, Ross, any?
I've watched the first episode of it,
And?
but it's brilliant. Yeah,
Oh, good.
I genuinely did not care at all about Nurse Ratchet, whatever. I watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest years ago. I've not read the book, but I decided to give it a go, and it's sublime. Only the first episode I can speak for.
Sublime is a big word.
Excellent.
It's genuinely beautiful. Like it's nothing like the movie at all. Like the movie is quite realistic in a lot of ways. But this is it's an acid trip. It's really good. And
But it's Ryan Murphy. It's
pure Ryan
going to be
Murphy.
highly stylized, I imagine.
yeah, it's this could be American Horror Story : Ratchet.
Maybe that's what he was thinking.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's how it started and he was like, I could just win this character into here. And
This property's up for grabs.
let's do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I've got an idea of something I want me and you to do on it, so we'll discuss that off air.
Okay, fine. You tease.
Enola Holmes has also been released. We've mentioned that a few times over the last months or so. I've not got to that yet either, but it does look all right.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'll probably get to that this weekend. To be fair,
I've seen that one as well. You might find this quite regularly.
Do you do anything else other than watch Netflix?
It doesn't really feel that way. Occasionally I cross over to the other stream, but generally it's all Netflix. Yeah,
Fair. If I hadn't been on holiday, I would have watched it as well, to be honest. So.
it's good. It's fun.
Cool.
And the strangest part is Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes, because he's a very good Sherlock, but he's also built like a brick shithouse.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit the character profile, does he? I will check it out. I'll probably check it out this weekend as well. Nick, have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've finished watching Rust Valley Restorers. That has been the prime favourite in our house over the last couple of weeks.
I've not seen any yet, but I will check it out.
It's fun. It's some crazy Canadian guys doing up cars.
Fair play.
And shenanigans happen.
Shenanigans, good word. Ross, have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
Apart from Enola Holmes, I did a couple. The Social Dilemma. The documentary.
Any good?
It's okay. I heard a lot of people say good things about it. It's a bit of a weird one though, because it's sort of half documentary, half drama. So there are narrative sections in it, sort of bookending what people are talking about, which I found a bit odd. Especially Vincent Kartheiser from Mad Men and Angel pops up as a sort of AI character in it. So yeah, it's not what I expected, but fine.
Cool.
Probably not the first time we'll talk about AI tonight.
No, probably not.
Seemed to be a recurring theme this year on this show.
As I said, I was away last week, so the only thing I've watched recently is Devil All the Time.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I watched that one as well.
Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland. You watched that as well?
I have. Yeah, I know.
I
I have a wife, son, and full-time job as well.
That's impressive. Not the wife and the son bit, but the
Well, no,
watching the
you've seen
Netflix
me.
watch.
It is quite impressive.
I would never say such a thing. I enjoyed it. I don't think it was all that. It was all right. The story
I
was
did enjoy it. I'm never going to
convoluted,
watch
I
it
thought.
again. But
No, I wouldn't watch it again, but I do enjoy Tom Holland. So I thought he was
Yeah.
really good in it as well, to be fair.
He says good things about you.
Yeah, I know he does.
he would do as well. He seems like a nice guy as well.
Yeah, of course he does. We've spent a lot of time together. In my head. Yeah, it was all right. The story's a bit convoluted, I thought. It was just a bit all over the place, but I quite enjoyed it. It's on for too long.
It is too long. Yeah, I've found that a couple of times with films where it's just like, if you just toned it down by about 20 minutes, I'd be a lot more on board.
We've talked about this before, though, isn't it? It's that there is a definite element of, there's less filter on Netflix.
Yeah, definitely.
There's more.
True.
There's more room for directors to do whatever the hell they
Yeah,
want.
they just get given free reign, I think, don't they? That's all I've got for news and top of the stream stuff. Nick, have you got anything else you want to do?
Ross, would you like to play a game?
You know it.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I'd do if you said no.
I'd have had to play.
So thank you. Right, so I'm going to give you the names of 5 movie characters. Since you've seen all the movies, this should be quite easy for you. And you will have to tell me, are they a chef, El Chefe, or are they a mob boss, El Jefe?
Nice.
As we play El Chefe or El Jefe.
I like he's put some thought into that one. That makes a change.
You make it seem so easy, though, Nick.
I'll have you know, I spend a good 5 minutes coming up with these. Okay,
I'll
right.
sit back and relax then.
Ready?
Yeah, as I'll ever be.
Okay, so first one, Sasha Tran, El Chefe or El Jefe?
El Chefe, is that from Always Be My Maybe?
It is, well done.
Wow.
Good film, that is.
It's a good start, but trust me, like this will fast go out. I'm not going to be able to get all of the movies
I
as
haven't
well.
seen that one.
So, Sasha Tran is a celebrity chef played by Ali Wong in the Netflix rom-com Always Be My Baby.
Not seen it.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right, the next one. Bill Cutting.
El Jefe, but I don't know what from.
Correct. It is Bill the Butcher, played by Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York.
God, it's been years since I've seen that. Fair enough.
I thought it might throw you. Cutting, I thought that's a good name for a chef. Okay, next one. Casey Ryback.
Great name.
El Chefe.
Correct.
Oh, he's good at this.
He is Navy SEAL turned El Chefe. It is Steven Seagal in Under Siege.
I thought I watched that film for the first time this year.
Did you?
Wow.
That's
Awful.
impressive.
Is that 3 out of 3?
Yeah, you're on for a clean sweep.
If you get a clean sweep in your first go, I'm very
Yeah,
disappointed.
it took Adam like 2 years to
It
get this. Right, next one. Carl Casper.
El Chefe.
It is El Chefe.
Oh,
But again, I don't know what from.
Carl Casper is played by Jon Favreau in the movie Chef from
I
2014.
like Chef. Couldn't have told you his name though. Clearly.
He's Jon Favreau's got a show on Netflix called The Chef Show,
does he?
which he travels around eating food.
A lot of people seem to do that on Netflix.
Yeah.
That seems to
Once
be
you,
a thing.
once you get to a certain level of fame,
Yeah, you can just go and eat stuff and
yeah,
be
get
filmed
paid for
doing
it.
it.
There you go. I've not seen it, but apparently it's supposed to be quite good. I just think
I've seen a couple of that. Yeah, they had Tom Holland on one with Robert Downey Jr. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think
that sounds good.
because he's he uses his celebrity friends. I don't know if I can watch another travel cookery show. I feel
True,
like I was
yeah.
cheating on Phil.
Yeah, you're never beating somebody feed Phil.
Right.
That genre has peaked.
Well, maybe.
5 out of 5. Drum roll.
Ross.
Put a drum roll in.
El Chefe or El Jefe, the man with the plan.
El Jefe.
Correct.
Oh, I'm impressed.
Is that? No, I was going to say Usual Suspects, but go on.
Close. It is the man with the plan is a crime boss played by Christopher Walken in Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Wow. Have you just got 5 out of 5 on your
Smashed
first go?
it.
Right, I'll switch off now then. That's it. I'm going out on top.
Jordan will not be happy with that.
No, he really won't be. He'll be rage throwing his
He will. He'll be
his
kicking
phone
you
against the wall, which makes me happy.
Yeah, always. Jordan's unhappy, I'm happy. That's not true. Right, shall we break down the season 3 stream table?
Let's do it.
I've got some stats to start with. Do you like stats?
I love a stat.
Ross, how do you feel about stats?
Favourite thing.
Good.
The stats I could tell you.
So there's 25 films in this season's stream table. Total film time. Does anybody want to have a guess?
Hey, some of them felt like years.
Yeah, often the shorter ones.
Yes.
Ironically.
50 hours.
I will go with 42 hours.
Just under 40 hours.
Wow.
Is the correct answer. Longest film in this season?
Bon cop, bad cop?
No.
Mute?
Yes, 2 hours and 6 minutes. Shortest film in this season.
I'm also trying to remember what the films actually were at the same time.
You've not got a copy of the stream table.
Do not have it in front of me.
I see. I have my list in front of me as well. Was it 2036? Origin Unknown?
Take Me?
Zombievers. 77 minutes.
Yeah, that outstayed its welcome.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
I thought it was alright. Highest rated film this season on IMDb.
I'm going with Thoroughbreds.
Deserved.
We'll talk about Thoroughbreds later on. Ross, have a guess? Next one.
I'm going to say, is it Bon Cop, Bad Cop?
No, it's Gantzo.
Really?
Gantzo is rated as 7.1 as the highest rated film of this season.
That surprises me.
I have to assume it's because less people have seen that, but the people who've seen it have rated it highly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're hunting that film out,
yeah,
you're a fan of the genre, I presume.
Definitely. Lowest rated film of the season.
It's got Deadly Detention.
Correct. 3.4. Average ratings for this season was 5.7. And 2 films this season were rated at 5.7. So Humanoids from the Deep and Acts of Vengeance are the average films for this season.
Okay. I liked one of them a lot more than the other. Give me Tony B any day.
Which film do you think has the biggest gap between where we put it on our stream table and where IMDb puts it on their stream table?
Thoroughbreds.
Correct. We put Thoroughbreds third from bottom. IMDb has it a third from top. What about the other way around? So high for IMDb, low for IMDb, but high for us.
Super Dark Time?
No.
Elementary.
See You Yesterday. Our number 1 film is 20th on IMDb's list.
Wow, that's really surprising.
It is really surprising. It is only rated at 5.1 on IMDb.
I did see some people probably get into it when we talk about it, but a lot of people were angry at the ending, it seems, on that one.
We will talk about this, because I've seen that as well. I think that's all my stats. I think I've statted out there. Oh no, there's only one film matches between the bottom of the stream table and the IMDb stream table, and that's Holidays at 21st.
Okay.
Everything else is different.
Man, that was a weird time.
Holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That's a weird film.
Yeah.
So, shall we start from the bottom of the stream table and just work up to the top?
Yeah, cool. Let's do that.
So, the film that finished bottom of the stream table this season was 2036 Origin Unknown.
I'll start. It is one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is the longest 85-minute film I've ever seen.
Ross, are you concurring?
Absolutely. I've got that at 24, so not far off. Honestly, gun to my head now, if somebody asked me what the plot was, I don't think I could do it.
No, nor me, to be fair. Something about a time-travelling cube from Mars? I don't know.
I don't know.
I wrote it down yesterday, but I missed off the 2036. So I was like, Origin Unknown, what the hell is that? It took me ages to figure out what it was.
I like Katie Sackhoff, who's like almost the only person that's in it, and it sounded okay from the description.
She wasn't the right person for that role, I don't think. I do like her, but she didn't carry that film very well.
I mean, she was weighed down by the heaviest script you could
True.
you could possibly want. I mean, it was a bad time.
Yeah, don't watch 2036 Origin Unknown. It's on for 94 minutes.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Good lord.
4.4 on IMDb.
Oh, that's way too high.
Where did you say you have it, Ross? 24th?
So that's 24th, yeah.
IMDb has it at 23rd. So
Okay.
We're all agreed on that being bottom or almost bottom. 24th in the stream table was Deadly Detention. I'm assuming this is the one you've got at your 25th.
This is my 25th.
Why is that?
Well, right. What you have to know about me is I also have a spreadsheet of every film I watch in a year as well, because I'm just
wow.
that fucking cool. And I have
neat.
a rate.
No, that's neat. Seriously, I wanted to do something like that, but now I feel that I've watched too many films, and why should I start now?
If I go to the
It's
cinema,
great,
I always
yeah.
rate a film on IMDb, but so I've got a list of what I've seen at the cinema, but I don't.
It's great fun. I keep it as like a journal as well.
Yeah,
as,
I think it's a good
as
idea.
I watch a movie and put next to it, went into lockdown. As I watch Spencer Confidential, it's that kind of thing. So
Is that why you went into lockdown? Because of Spencer?
because of Spencer, I couldn't face the world after that. And I have like a rating system from 0 to 10. And on 0 is I have a little words next to it because I'm fucking the worst. I have 0, absolutely hated it, actively angry about watching it, and I think, as far as I'm aware, Deadly Detention is the only film this year that I actually feel angry about watching.
Wow.
Like, generally when a film is over, I'm like, oh, well, that was a bit shit, or that was terrible. But Deadly Detention, I wanted to find somebody and talk to them about it. It's awful.
Did you want to beat us up for picking it out of the stream table, out of the bag?
Or the randomizer.
Oh, the randomizer, yeah.
If the randomizer had a face.
I mean,
yeah.
it was woeful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Both of these two films. I'm similar to you, Ross. Usually I can find something that's redeemable somewhere,
Yeah.
but I wanted my time back for both of those.
Yeah.
It
Awful.
wasn't funny. It wasn't scary. I still don't understand why they were in a prison.
No.
Let's say if you go into it, if somebody tried to sell it to you and was like, well, it's Breakfast Club in a prison with somebody trying to kill him, and it's like, oh, that's not a bad concept.
It's a
on
good
the
pitch,
outside.
isn't it?
But the execution was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. It's 90 minutes, 3.4 on IMDb. Bottom of IMDb stream table. I'm just assuming that IMDb have a stream table. I've made my own from their rating system. The next one, 23rd in the stream table, is Thoroughbreds.
Sure, let's get into this.
Ross, where do you have Thoroughbreds in yours?
I have Thoroughbreds at 6,
Oh, wow.
just outside of my top 5.
Now, I liked it more than you had.
Yeah, I hated it. I have no qualms about saying that, and I still now think I hated it.
So I do think it's a bit low.
Yeah, possibly.
But I
it's a
don't
bit
think
low.
it's-
That's fair.
I don't think it's hugely low. Yeah, I for me, it's one of the biggest disappointments, and I don't know if it's because I was having a bad day or whatever. But I'd seen all this jury selection at all these film festivals, and I was expecting something pretty good, and it just didn't hit home with me. I've got to say.
No, I agree. I hated it. I thought it was garbage. I still think it's garbage.
On the other side, if I peel back the onion a little bit, I heard a phrase from you, Adam, fairly recently of artsy fartsy garbage, I think
Yeah.
it was, or artsy farty bollocks, either way.
Artsy farty bollocks. Probably.
And I realised something about myself that I do love some artsy fartsy bollocks.
Oh, right.
I do. It's how some people can switch on, I don't know, Michael Bay movies and just lose themselves in popcorn nonsense. I have that, but with artsy fartsy bollocks. I watched, what was it? I'm Thinking of Ending Things, the Charlie Kaufman movie on Netflix that's came out, I think, last week or something. That is the height of artsy fartsy bollocks, and I loved it. So I think Thoroughbreds just falls into that same little niche for me.
I am going to watch that because I have a bit of a thing for Charlie Kaufman, so I will watch that. But
It's very Charlie Kaufman.
So you're not against artsy fartsy
No, I'm not.
bollocks? This one just didn't.
this one just didn't appeal to me. These bollocks were not mine. IMDb has it, as I said, at third at 6.7. IMDb. So maybe we are wrong on this one.
Well, it's one of the 10 DVDs that my in-laws own, so it's got to have something
Which
going
is the
for it.
strangest thing.
I love that as a fact so much. Next time you go, can you take a picture of it?
Yeah,
on
I've
their
not been
shelf or
since, but I will. Yeah, I'll get a picture.
Or steal it.
I know. I
Can
will
you steal
list.
it and then we'll put a decent film in the box and you can give it back?
What would be amazing is if you did that and they caught you before you left, like they noticed straight away that Thoroughbreds is out of place.
Where's our Thoroughbreds gone?
Like without even looking, if just walking out the door, my father-in-law goes, I sense something is amiss.
Yeah.
Something is not right with the Force. I've got Bait on Blu-ray. You can probably put that in its place if you want.
For like Indiana Jones replacing the idol.
Yeah. Shall we move on? 22 this season is Humanoids from the Deep. That was our 80s film for this season, wasn't it?
I didn't have a terrible time watching it because I was quite entertained by how dated it was. I was really surprised at how problematic it was. Time has not been kind, I would suggest.
I have that one pretty similar. I have that one at 23, but this is the only one this stream table that's moved after I listened to the podcast, because I did quite a bit. I did quite a bit higher because I enjoyed it, and I was like, this is terrible and problematic, but I still had fun, and it's the movie that it wants to be. Until I heard your podcast where you were like, actually, they added in all these sex bits, and it's not the film that they wanted to make, and so that made me put it to the bottom nearly.
Think differently of it. So we have educated you. I'm quite proud of that.
That was really interesting.
It was. So the studio's ruined it.
You know, the fact that they'd given this, you know, sort of tired genre to a female director to do something a bit different with, and then, you know, effectively kicked her off and added a load of boobs. It does not reflect well.
I have no problem with boobs as long as they are all consensual boobs.
Exactly.
Everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly. I did love the guy who was the main star of it, though, because, well, clearly I thought he was 75 all the way through it, and it turned out he was 40.
The 200-year-old man.
21 this season was Holidays. This feels like a fever dream that I had at some point. It was very early in lockdown, and I feel like my life wasn't quite my own at that point.
So I kind of enjoyed it because I knew I was always only 10 minutes from the next movie.
Yeah, Holidays is like an anthology movie for there's like different seasons or different holidays throughout the year.
But by the end of it, I looked back and thought I didn't actually like many of them. I think I liked 2.
Some of them are so weird as well.
So I like the Father's Day one, but it shit the bed at the end.
Yeah.
Where the girl ends up going to the temple.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of that for me.
I agree. Yeah, that one was. I say up till the end, even though I don't exactly hate the ending, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But before that, it was genuinely like the creepiest thing.
Yeah.
I've got that one at 18, so not far off.
Not far off. Where do IMDb have it at exactly the same place, 21st. Next one up from there is Advantageous, which was the mind swapping into a different body by a lady bullshit.
I thought you were harsh on this as well.
I hated this.
So I think
so
I said
boring.
I think I said at the time I liked the world and the universe it had created more than I liked the story I was being told.
Yeah, I'd like to have been told a different story in that world. What are you playing with?
Sorry, I just knocked my mic.
He's fidgeting. Ross, what are your thoughts on Advantageous?
I'm about the same as you. I've got it at 19. I really didn't like it. I didn't like the world either. I was, right from the beginning to the end, it just didn't funk with me. Although I did find it confusing on the podcast that you didn't understand that it was a robot on the phone that she was discovering partway through the movie that was her recruitment expert.
Yeah. I don't understand why you didn't get that.
Because that was for me like the best part of the movie, which was really scraping the bottom of the barrel. But the idea that you could be talking to an AI and you don't realise until 3 or 4 conversations into it when something just slips.
Yeah.
That I found kind of creepy, and it was almost like, there might have been another movie in this that was good, but no, it was awful.
No, it wasn't.
The pacing was all over the place.
It really was. The transition didn't happen until like 15 minutes from the end.
Yeah, and nobody cared.
Yeah, by that point I just didn't give a shit at all. Couldn't care less.
I was like that kid.
Yeah. It was like they needed to set it in a semi-futuristic world, so they just had some flying cars at the beginning for no reason.
They got some free software and they put on the free car floaty filter.
Yeah, it was so weird. So weird and so boring. It's unforgivably boring for a film that's got a decent premise.
Yeah.
I'll go to tell you where IMDb had Advantageous. If you bear with, really high up at 9th.
Oh, wow.
It's because it is rated at 6.2 on IMDb. So
that's
all
bullshit.
Wrong. 19th this season was Acts of Vengeance.
It does what it says on the tin for me. It's a fine revenge type movie.
Yeah, it's
nothing you've not seen before. You know, Antonio Banderas, he's good. He anchors it fairly well, but it's nothing special, is it?
We had a lot of middle of the road films this season. I think in a different stream table, this one would maybe have been a bit higher. I don't know.
I don't know. I was disappointed.
It's not a bad
by
film.
This
it's
one.
just you were disappointed by it.
I was just, yeah, because as you say, Antonio Banderas kicking the crap out of people while not speaking. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that, but it just didn't work for
It's
me.
definitely something missing from it, isn't it?
What I liked about it was something I should have hated, and that's the fact, I think I mentioned this on the episode, that the director had the absolute temerity to make this guy a mute character and then have him give us a voiceover for the whole film. I just thought that was so crazy. It made me chuckle.
It is. It's really, when you think about it, when you put it like that, it is really mental. It is really crazy. Where did you have it in yours, Ross, did you say?
I've got that one a little bit lower at 21.
Oh, IMDb have it at 9th. 6.2 on IMDb. So we're miles out on the IMDb this year. Next one above that is Ark, 18th.
Well, Ross, you tell us.
Yeah, you start with this. This
I
was your wild
selected
card,
Ark.
was it?
This was my wild card. Now I realise there's going to be other people with wild cards and everything. Now I realise that it's a challenge. I'm going to save mine a bit more this next time.
It wasn't a
But
challenge
yeah,
until I realised that there was, like you said, there was people with it, and I was like, well, there's got to be some sort of league.
There's got to be some sort of
There's going to
thing
be 5 next season as well. We've got 3 Patreons with wild cards now. So there's going to be 5 wild cards in season 4.
I'm going to keep mine in back pocket. But yeah, I've got this
You
one
played
at
it
7.
really early, didn't you?
I did. I ran in with that. I was so excited because I did enjoy Ark. It came out 7th in the end, so obviously there was other stuff that I enjoyed more. But I'm a sucker for a Groundhog Day movie, no matter what it is, really. If it's an episode of 10, because everybody's done it now.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's that new Andy Samberg movie, Palm Springs or something, that I haven't seen yet. But that is the same concept.
It's supposed to be
You wake
great.
up every day.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. So you give me that, I'm on board. I really like Robbie Amell as well.
Me too.
He's,
Me too.
He's great. Oh, another thing I watched at top of the stream as well, Babysitter Part 2.
I've not got to that yet. We're going to do a special on that.
Yeah,
so
we will
we'll watch that at some point.
It's
That's the
great,
first
and
sequel that's
he's
come out
great.
since we started.
Yeah, he's really good in it. He's possibly the highlight of the movie for me. He's really funny. So, yeah, I can't argue with any of the stuff that you said on it, but I did enjoy it. I like the concept.
Hey, Ross, I'm with you. I enjoyed this as well. A lot more than you did, Ad.
I hated it.
You kind of got fixated on you wanted to see what was going on outside that room
Yeah.
and that house.
A bit like Advantageous. I enjoyed the world, but then I was stuck in a house and I couldn't get out into the world.
Whereas I just took it for what it was. I had fun. I thought it breezed by.
It's like you say, it's a sci-fi Groundhog Day, isn't it? It's like trying to stop a home invasion type thing.
It's like a home, but they're freedom fighter terrorists, and they're trying to get hold of something that's not the time machine. I think I like when people create an accidental time machine.
Yeah.
Whoops-a-daisy. But yeah, so they're trying to get something else. To be fair, it's been a while since I've seen it. I don't think I'll watch it again.
He was trying to build a tanning bed or something, wasn't he?
That was it.
I did enjoy when that bloke touched it and then just died. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, and I quite like that idea of so they get stopped the next time, so now he's in there, so that leads to other consequences. I really like a Groundhog Day movie.
So we got that at 18th. Where did you have it?
7th.
IMDb have it at 7th as well.
Me and
IMDb have it at
me and the
7th.
masses.
6.4 on IMDb.
I'd have it significantly higher personally, but we had that argument.
We did.
Over many weeks.
We argued for many weeks about Ark. This is our 3-letter section of this stream table because 17th is Tau. Thoughts on Tau, Nicholas?
Not as good as Ark.
You can't say that. You've got a stream table that you've built yourself.
I agree with you, Nick.
I have to fight you for it, though. That's the problem. Tau was okay. I didn't like the villain guy.
Yeah.
I still don't understand where he was going every day because he had this lab building this project. So where was he just fucking
He was working
off for
from
every
home
day?
but then going out every day.
I thought the heroine was fine. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about.
It's an
for me,
AI
this one.
house that's
Yeah.
just starting to learn stuff while there's a psychopath living there.
Yeah.
Basically, is your premise.
You know, it's that whole thing of you think the computer's the villain and it turns out not.
Yeah.
But no,
I did
it
like
didn't do much for me.
It was Gary Oldman, wasn't it, as Tau,
Yeah,
the
it
voice?
was, yeah.
That's right.
I liked him. I think he was possibly my favourite part of it. He's very
He's got a
good
very
voice.
soothing voice. Yeah.
Yeah. I had that one at 13, so sort of middle of the road for me.
13. IMDb have it at 14. 5.8 on IMDb. So just
Okay.
above average. 16 this season was Time Out, otherwise known as Furlough in the United States.
Yeah, that was
And
very
pretty
confusing.
much everywhere except for Netflix. It was very confusing, you're right.
Didn't have like 16 Oscar winners in this?
Yep, 16 full Oscar winners. They had 3 female Oscar winners. Is that right? Or 4?
3 or 4. I want to say 4.
So got Melissa
Goldberg,
Leo, Whoopi Goldberg.
Anna Kendrick.
No. Who?
Not Anna
She's not
Kendrick.
I was going to say, is she in it?
Who do I mean?
I missed that.
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin.
Anna Paquin, yeah.
And is that it? 3.
I think so. I don't think Tessa Thompson's got one, has she?
No, it was 3. It was definitely 3. 3 Oscar winners in a film that sits 16th in the stream table. We must be wrong on that, surely.
I'm about you. I'm at 14 with that one.
IMDb's at 17.
I think so at the time. I liked bits of it, but it didn't quite knit together.
There's a prison officer taking a prisoner out to see her dying mother.
Yeah, and they go and have
And
different skits, don't they? You
Yeah.
know, they have adventures in the hairdressers, and they go to the sexaholics meeting, don't they?
Yeah.
And you know, it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
I was a
felt
bit
like
disappointed.
It wanted to be like Midnight Run, but
Yeah.
it just didn't quite get to that stage, which, you know, I love a trier, but yeah, it just felt like a series of sketches put together. Melissa Leo's fantastic. I really like her. I could watch her do
She
anything.
was really good
but,
at it, to be fair.
And Whoopi Goldberg, for the 5 minutes that she was in it, I really enjoyed.
She made the most of her time, yeah, definitely.
She did, yeah. But yeah, just on the whole, the execution just didn't quite get there for me.
No, agreed. Next, IMDb have that as 17. They actually have that lower than we do.
Okay.
So we maybe overrated it. 15th was Zombievers, which was my wild card for this season. Because as soon as I saw a film about a zombie beaver, I'm all in on that. It's basically zombie beavers. You can't say much more. Teens get attacked by zombie beavers at a cabin in the woods.
Yeah, it's not really in my wheelhouse, to be honest, this sort of movie.
You love this sort of movie. I've made you watch enough of it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe that's why. It had a few... it got a bit of mirth out of me, but not too much. I find sort of this batch where we are now quite interchangeable, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I had that one quite a bit lower. I got that at 20. Yeah, didn't do much for me. That's it. I couldn't tell you why I didn't like it. It didn't do much. Well, if you want another recommend from the top of the stream, I do other things other than watch movies. But Slaughterhouse Rules has just been put on Netflix as well.
Oh, really?
And if you want giant mutant monsters attacking people, with a fantastic Michael Sheen performance and Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in there as well, that's a good B-movie schlock.
I will add that to my list as we speak now. Where did you say you'd put it on your list?
Zombievers at 20, just below Advantageous.
22 for IMDb, 4.8. 14th was I Kill Giants, which was Jordan's wildcard this season.
It was. I wanted a lot more from this.
I agree. This has got a really good premise behind it.
I will say the book is fantastic. That it's based off the graphic novel is really wonderful. And they didn't quite capture the feel of that for me.
Yeah, the peril didn't quite come across for me. I didn't really buy the relationships.
Yeah,
to be honest, it didn't hit home for me. I think we said at the time, you know, we've seen a Monster Calls, and that was always in the back of my head as well.
Yeah.
The design of it looks very like that as well.
Yeah, it really does. A Monster Calls is a much better version of this same story.
Yeah,
by a long way. IMDb have that at 12. 6.1.
I'm not far off. I'm at 11.
Oh, you're not far off. You had it quite high then as well.
I did, yeah. I mean, that says more about the films underneath it, honestly. But yeah, it was one of those. When I read the graphic novel years ago, I'm a bit of a crier anyway. When it comes to movies, I'm pretty close to the surface with it at any time, and I cried reading that book at a certain point. But the film just didn't do anything for me.
Fair enough. Have you seen A Monster Calls?
I have, and I was
dehydrated.
I was dehydrated by the end of that movie.
Yeah, I saw that in a cinema, and it was very hard to retain my cool, I must admit.
You had wet popcorn.
I really did.
Ew.
That sounds horrible.
It does.
Some things should just not be wet.
Don't Urban Dictionary wet popcorn. I've got a bad feeling about it.
Some things should just not be wet ever. Like a sock.
That should be on a
You should
t-shirt.
never have a wet sock.
Let's not talk about socks.
13th this season was Take Me, which was episode 1 of this season. What's her name?
Taylor Schilling.
Taylor Schilling gets kidnapped by a dude who she pays to kidnap her.
Or does she?
Or does she, indeed? Thoughts?
I liked it.
Yeah, I like that one. I had that one at 8, a little bit higher.
I enjoy Take Me. I thought it was a decent film. We're getting into the good half, I guess, now.
Yeah.
There's a real gap between I Kill Giants and
Take Me, it zipped by. It had, it was funny. It was, sweary. It was a bit of slapstick thrown in there as well. I enjoyed it.
Taylor Sheridan.
And I also thought, I'm assuming everybody doesn't mind about spoilers, I genuinely kind of didn't get the twist at the end. I was with it and I thought, well, clearly it's going to be this way, and then it just went on long enough for me to think, oh, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Before the twist happened, so I enjoyed that.
It did walk that line quite well, didn't it?
It double twisted, didn't it? It was quite nice. Where did you have that? 8th.
Yeah, 8th.
IMDb have it at 11, which is 6.1 out of 10.
Okay,
IMDb.
so we're all in the
mid-table.
same ballpark.
Mid-table ballpark. Mute is at number 12. Paul Rudd.
I mean, he was the best thing about it.
Yeah. Who's the other guy in it? Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgårds.
Yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård?
Alexander, yeah.
Yeah. It's another mute killer. Isn't it?
I know, you had 2 mute heroes.
Yeah.
I know, you wait ages for one, and here you go.
Come on. Paul Rudd's moustache got this right up into the stream table where it needed to be, right up in the top bit.
He was a good antagonist, I found.
Yeah.
I think I said at the time I would have liked to have seen more of this world, so it felt like it was all set in the same block of this futuristic city. I had no idea that it was a sort of same universe as Moon till I'm literally watching this film, and
Moon's a great film.
That's a fun one, yeah, I like that.
I really enjoyed it.
And it's playing sort of in the background in the cafe. It's it didn't do too much for me, but I did a bit of reading about this movie before I watched it, and it seemed to get an absolute panning from the critics.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was as bad as all that.
No, it doesn't deserve its reputation. It's 18th on IMDb stream table, 5.4.
Yeah.
So it's really low down.
I'm not far. I had it at 16. I did quite enjoy it, but there was just a part of me that was, when Moon came up and I was like, oh, cool, they're connected. It just made me think of how much I'd rather be watching Moon. And
that's a good point.
That is completely fair.
Yeah.
If the film was just about Paul Rudd and is it Justin Theroux, who was the other, the
I think it was,
pedophile? There's a part of me that's like, I'd rather a film about these two, like mob, doctor, ex, whatever, army guys doing stuff. I didn't really need the mute Swede.
Fair comment. That's a decent point. It's the longest film of this season as well. It's too long for what it is. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes. 11, Peelers. Nick's looking at me like, I don't want to talk about Peelers.
You made me say some things in that episode.
Have you wiped it from your memory? Is that what's happened?
Peelers
is a weird film. Zombie.
lots of wet popcorn.
Lots of wet popcorn. Oil zombies, aren't they? In a
They're
bar,
babies.
in a strip club. Yeah. Yeah.
I
think I blocked some of it out of my mind as well.
I had that one at 22.
Really? That's low.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
I can see why people would not like it, because it is quite distasteful.
Yeah.
I can see it being a mood film, a definite mood film. Yeah.
The part at the end with the baby, it was distasteful. That was the part I liked the most because they went so far with it, and it just didn't feel like the rest of the film went that far.
Yeah,
and then
I had to rewind it to check that I'd seen it.
I didn't even see it.
And you missed it totally.
I missed it totally.
When he just lobbed the baby off the motorcycle.
I don't know how I missed it. I went back and watched it after we'd finished recording. I was like, how the fuck did I miss that? But no, I missed that bit totally. For people who don't know, a baby gets chucked off the back of a motorcycle at the end of the film. It's a fun film. I think it's fun. Not for that reason, but just in general, it's a fun film. I really enjoyed it. I like films like that, just stupid zombie films. Where did you have it, Ross? 22, did you say?
22, yeah. Right around Humanoids from the Deep and Zombievers.
IMDb have it at 24.
Okay.
4.1, second lowest rated film of the season. But
I think I'm just a populous fucking shill.
You're it's IMDb and you are just the same thing.
Yeah.
Same entity. You're basically a walking IMDb.
That's it. Yeah, we are the one.
Yeah, this spreadsheet that you keep.
It is IMDb.
Yeah. Are you talking
IMDb.
yourself down somewhat?
I am Mr. IMDb.
Should we move into the top 10?
Let's slide in, yeah.
Slide into the top 10 with first match, the wrestling film, or high school wrestling.
Yeah, high school
film?
wrestling. I enjoyed it. Really good performances, I thought.
Yeah.
On reflection, is it a little bit too high?
Yes.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it is.
But
It's not as good as Peelers.
okay, we'll leave you to that opinion.
But that's the one that's below it. If you think it's too high, then it needs to Peelers.
Oh, you wait till we get to Bon Cop, Bad Cop. Yeah, it's got some good performances. I liked the story. I wasn't expecting the underground fight club. Yeah, it's a good movie.
I've got it quite a bit lower. I had it 17, which, yeah, I quite like the performances, especially, I'm going to scrub his name, I think it's like Yaya something, a guy who played a dad in it was, I thought he was quite cool, and to be fair, all the actors were doing the job quite well. It just, I don't know, it just felt like a bit of a waste. Like, there was nothing particularly that struck me about it. Yeah, it was fine.
For me, it does feel a bit out of place in the top 10. We were maybe just in a good mood that week. I don't know, but IMDb have it at 8th.
Okay.
Higher, so maybe we're not far off. 6.3 on IMDb. 9 is The Overnight.
Yeah, this
Talking
was
of
a
uncomfortable.
time.
This was an experience.
I mean, I laughed a lot.
Yes, very much so.
I cringed a lot.
Yes, agreed.
Merkins everywhere. What more can you say?
I had it at 9 as well. I think
wow.
it's the only one that we actually match up on. I loved it.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just stupid, but it's fun.
I think because I didn't expect it. I think you mentioned in the podcast, I thought it was going to be a horror movie.
Yeah, completely.
And
I did.
I thought that up to and including like the end credits. Like I thought there's going to be something that's going to happen. Have you ever seen film The Invitation?
Don't think so.
That's another one. It might be a good one for the stream table because I don't think a lot of people have seen it, but it's fascinating, and it's like the serious version of this movie where a group of people get together for a dinner party, and it's clear to everybody watching that something's gone wrong, but the film does a fantastic job of convincing them to stay, and you buy it. Like normally in horror movies, like why don't you just get out of the house?
Yeah.
But The Invitation does a very good job of like, yeah, I might have stayed as well. So I'd recommend that one.
It might be on the long list. I'm not sure. I'll have to
We'll
have a
check.
look.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
a check.
I mean, again, I like Adam Scott. I like Jason Schwartzman. I like Taylor Schilling. They were all really good. They all played off each other very well.
It was her second appearance this season, wasn't it? And Adam Scott's second appearance overall.
And you're right, Ross. It did a bit of that. It was quite cunning in that it was believable all the way through. Actually, they wouldn't have quite gone home. And I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
We're all about right on it because IMDb have it at 10th as well. So we had it at 9th.
There you go.
They had it at 10th, 6.1 on IMDb. 8th, this is where we're all going to talk for a little while on Bon Cop, Bad Cop.
That's top 5 film for me.
It is for me as well. I've got it at number 2.
Really?
Yes.
Number 2, really?
It was, and this was the one I mentioned in the chat the other day, Adam, about the film that, like, the real hidden gem for this season was this one for me.
I totally agree.
Wow.
Because
Nick's
I
looking at me
love.
like he hates me right now.
I've got a big smile on my face, Ross, because this was the most pleasant surprise for me all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought I was getting a run-of-the-mill standard buddy cop, and I was not prepared for how funny this movie was.
It was brilliant. It was like finding another Lethal Weapon or something like that for me. I watched immediately. I watched Bon Cop, Bad Cop, and then Bon Cop, Bad Cop 2.
See, I'm saving it
Right.
because I'm like, I don't want to. I enjoyed this one so much. I'm saving it for a special
Yeah,
occasion.
we'll do a special episode on it, I think. 'Cause I think we've got to, haven't we?
Yeah.
Is
Maybe
it just
Technically, it's at the bottom of the stream. Do we put it in the long list and see if it comes out?
well,
Who
maybe.
knows?
Just tell me, Ross. Is it a disappointment?
It's where it came on your stream table.
No, the second movie.
Oh, the second movie. I don't want to tell you. It's not as good. I'll say that because like Bon Cop, Bad Cop, I think was like 2000 it came out or something. Like it was a while ago, that one. And Bon Cop, Bad Cop 2 is like 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
So they are much older. and they play into that quite a bit. You know, one of them's got very grey hair now. I think one of them was already pretty bald. But they do a good job. I mean, it's the same thing. It's, you know, Lethal Weapon 2, 3, and 4. You don't go in there for anything different. Somebody yelling tabernacle every 5 minutes, and it's just good. I will say, like, the storyline for Bon Cop Bad Cop, I could barely follow.
Same.
It wasn't just because I was watching.
I think that's what put me off it a little bit, is the fact that it's just nonsense.
I know nothing. I know nothing about hockey. I really struggled to keep up
nothing.
with which team was moving where and why people were so angry. But it didn't matter.
No, that's the thing. It didn't matter. I didn't even care when the guy showed up at the end, like the big bad guy who looked strangely like me, like just kind of a dumpy dude who loves something too much. Even that I was fine with, because I just had really fun times watching it.
And I liked the effort they went into, because although he wasn't a particularly threatening guy, he had a justifiable reason for his evilness.
Yeah.
You know, he loved his team that much.
And
it was hilarious. I loved the performances.
It was, yeah.
It was so snappy, the dialogue back and forward.
I tend to judge films about how quick I pick up my phone while watching them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I only picked up Bon Cop back at my phone while I was watching it to check. I knew I think it's Colin Fjord or something, one of the guys. If I knew him from something else, and strangely enough, the only other thing that I've seen him in, apart from the odd bit and piece, he's in Umbrella Academy. He plays Reginald Hargreaves, the dad of the Umbrella Academy.
Oh right.
And he's in Thor, the first Marvel Thor film, as King Lothry, the ice giant.
Yeah,
he's got range, is what I'm saying.
Definitely got range.
You spotted him from 24, I think.
Yeah, he was in 24 as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. I had a great time.
So I did not get bored. It was a proper gem.
So where was it on your stream table?
2.
2.
It was 2, and I was pretty convinced it was going to stay at 1 until my number 1 came in.
Guess where it is on IMDb stream table?
1.
I think
2.
it's pretty high.
2.
Same as Ross's, 6.8. 6.8, second highest rated film of the season. I don't remember hating it, but I don't know why I talked you down into that position now. But fair enough.
Well, knowing now that, as a pullback of the curtain, that the film that you hate that everybody loves is Hot Fuzz.
I hate Hot Fuzz.
I think you've got a bugbear against maybe buddy cop.
I don't do a lot of comedy films. I think we've said this before many times. I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
See,
Hot Fuzz is garbage.
I always joke that you've got no sense of humour, which isn't true.
Which is not true.
But you've got a low tolerance for a stupid
Comedy. Yeah, agreed.
And I feel like you may have judged this one a little bit.
Maybe.
Before you watched it.
Maybe I did.
I can't speak highly enough of it. I thought it was the hiddenest of gems this year.
Cool. Check out Bon Cop Bad Cop then, and let me know how wrong I was. Let's move on to number 7, Bad Day for the Cut. This was number 1 for a while, I think, in the stream table, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we had too much early days that impressed us too much. And this was a fun time. So it's an Irish gangster drama.
Yeah.
About a couple of warring families.
Yep.
Again, it's sweary. The C-bomb is dropped
Countless times.
many, many times. People get hit in the head with soup. And irons. It's good.
It's a good film. It's a really good film. It's a lot of fun. I'd highly recommend it.
This one was my sort of breakwater, because I've got it at 10, just above the overnight. Just above I Kill Giants and just below the overnight. But I will say there's a big gap for me on Bad Day for the Cunt. Bad Day for the Cunt, Jesus. There's never a bad day
for her in that film, to be fair. Yeah.
And I Kill Giants. So there's quite a gap for me on that one. That's my break.
That's your breaking off point. IMDb have that at 5th this season, 6.5. So we're up in the right sort of ballpark. Number 6, let's talk about this one. Gantz O is number 6 on our stream table.
Yeah, that was my wild card.
It was. You won the wild card challenge this year.
Yeah, I actually put some effort into choosing it this year after the anomaly last time.
Oh God,
round.
yeah, the anomaly.
Oh God, that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
I'm never forgiving you.
Yeah,
for that.
sorry guys.
It's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
This was...
Gantz O is Japanese anime.
Yeah, so it's about a group of recently deceased civilians who are recruited to fight a wave after wave of not monsters, aliens.
I like how that really structured. To be fair, like, I haven't read. I think I've read a couple, maybe some of the earlier volumes, but that did strike me as just like, yeah, they're aliens, not monsters, and I liked how that really struck with you.
Well, I didn't want to offend anybody, but I didn't know if it was offensive
quite.
to call them monsters. Monsters? Monsters.
Molesters.
Yeah, it's something I've never even dabbled in before, so it was quite interesting to see it. And I'm definitely going back for more. I really enjoyed Ganso. So much fun. It's bonkers.
Well, I will say, I think that's the only one that's done in that style, like the 3D animation
Right.
sort of style of it. The rest of it is 2D. It's the same. It's the same world. It's the same story. I think even the same characters pop up here and there. But yeah, it's just that was one that I'd seen before. I don't know if I asked for it to be put on the stream table even.
Possibly.
But that one I did. That was another one that I just had right fun with. That that's 4 on my stream table.
Right.
The scene where they are fighting against the sort of winged red beast that looks a bit like Danny Trejo, and they just can't put him down, and there's just
blood
swimming
everywhere.
pools of blood. It was brilliant.
It's
Yeah.
so good. So much fun.
Even the, and you brought it up in there, the slightly problematic proportions of the female characters
Yes.
in it, and the fact that one of them is helpless and the other one just wants to get married. Yeah, not great, but
Yeah, I was watching it. I was like, I think he just called her Jugs. Have I heard that right? Again, we'll come on to translation issues maybe later, but it was certainly problematic in the way it addressed women. But
if you took that out of it, it would have been even higher for me. I mean, you can't get much higher at 4, but yeah, it was near perfect.
It makes you think twice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
According to IMDb, it is perfect. As I said earlier on, it is their number 1, 7.1 highest rated film of this season. Moving into the top 5. Should we move into the top 5? Elementary. The last film, season finale for season 3.
So for me,
I don't know if that's how you say it. That's just how I keep saying it.
The Blacksmith and the Devil. For me, this not quite on the level of Bon Cop, Bad Cop, but another real pleasant surprise.
For me, this was the hiddenest of gems.
Just again, not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
I thought I was getting something heavy, slow, plodding. That these are just the preconceptions I had.
Yeah.
And it was a wild ride.
It really was. It really was. It's so much fun.
I love the character of the blacksmith.
Yeah.
I thought he
He's
was
such a badass.
a brilliant action hero.
Yeah. I really want to see more of that sort of character in that sort of universe.
This is my number 1.
Is it really?
Yeah, this one with a bullet right at the end. I couldn't. Yeah, it's weird to say I couldn't turn it off because it's just a movie, but it was like I was just entranced by it. It
Same.
was
Yeah,
fantastic.
me too.
The moment that his hammer breaks and he just starts beating the shit out of it to form it, I was like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
That's brilliant.
And that's really early on. And you were like, I'm all in now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This film
that
has
was
won
it.
me over already.
And
Yeah.
it looked beautiful as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It we've seen some shit, cheap looking stuff.
Yeah.
And the sets for this were great.
Yeah, the Forge set is incredible.
But the cinematography around the wood, through the forest and stuff. It was a treat. It was awesome.
I don't know what the budget was on it. It feels like they had a very small budget but knew what to do with it.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last 15-20 minutes when we're busting into hell.
Fantastic.
Great.
That was the point where I was like, another hour, please.
Yeah.
With him,
Agreed.
with his fucking bell just kicking the shit out of demons.
Like
I'd
I
even
said,
take a sequel.
yeah, I wanna
Just
see that
Give me a
sequel.
sequel of him just in hell the whole time. I'm all in for that.
I can get the blacksmith in the
feels
Avengers.
like it feels like this could be one that Hollywood would remake and make shit. Mark Wahlberg plays the blacksmith or something.
Ron Perlman, he'd be great at it.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah. He's Hollywood's go-to devil, isn't he?
Yeah. Considering how we had this on our long list from the very beginning of the show for like 18 months now, whatever, we've been doing it probably more. And we always, every time we saw it, we dreaded it coming out. And to the fact that it came out as a finale was insane. But I don't know why we just put it off for so long.
Yeah, it was great.
It was fantastic. It's been on my list, I think, since I've had Netflix. I don't know
really?
how long it's actually existed. It feels like it's always been on there, and I think it's come off my list and gone back on so many times.
So you were happy when it came out then?
So much so that I was like, oh, okay, I have a reason to watch this now. And but I did not expect it to be as good as it was.
Ross, did you watch this in Spanish?
Basque.
In Basque? Or did you watch the English dub?
No, I watch it. Yeah, whenever I watch any of these, I always do the original language with subtitles. It tends to be that the translation doesn't translate, for lack of a better term. Except for the bit at the end, which you guys covered off, where it's like, don't count your onions before they're oranges or something.
I loved it.
Don't let the pumpkin out of the square.
That was amazing. Just like, this is the most incredible. What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, like I said, I thought I was having a stroke or something. I was like, what? Have I passed out? What's going on? I just thought, well, I love that. That's the end of the season. For
that was it. Yeah, it just made it brilliant.
To be fair, the English dub is bad. It is bad, but it didn't take anything away from the film for me. I have to watch the English dub because I can't write.
But I understand. Like, writing notes on this, I couldn't do that.
But it didn't. In Ganso, for instance, that you can't. It's fine. Probably because they're animated and the lips doesn't matter. The lip sync doesn't matter anyway. But,
true. Yeah.
But no, it was really bad. The dub is really bad. So if you can watch it in its native language, please do. Where IMDb had that at 6.4 on IMDb, okay. So that's higher than I would have expected for that. Because I don't think anybody else has ever watched it, but apparently they have.
Fair point. Yeah.
Number 4 this season was Fast Colour. That was also number 1 for quite a while. Thoughts on Fast Colour?
Possibly the best looking film we had this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, I loved the vistas out in the sort of big skies, big country.
Yeah.
And then when things open up at the end and the lead character suddenly sees all the colours, I love that sequence when she's running back.
Yeah.
Back
might
home.
have cried at that bit. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I my popcorn was definitely moist. Similar to you, it doesn't take much to get me going, and that did. I thought it was good.
Ross, you know you're gonna have to draw some wet popcorn now, don't you?
Some soggy popcorn.
Just draw some soggy popcorn.
It'll fall out the bottom. I had that at 3, so not far off. It was.
It's a superhero film, but it's not. Superhero films have been done to death, and this one felt different. It didn't.
I really
feel
like
a superhero film.
Gugu Mbatha-Raw is just. She's really good.
Yeah.
There's one film that she's got another one on Netflix, which I cannot remember now. It's like the exception to the rule. It's a terrible movie, and I'm sad that I can't tell you the title now because you might stumble across it. But she is generally fantastic in everything that she's in, including this.
Yeah, and it was. It sounds corny to say it like this, and it maybe doesn't sell it to anyone, but it was family drama first. They just happened to have superpowers, and the way it all fit together was really good.
The way it all came together at the end.
Proper film, this was.
It was a proper film. That's a great way to describe it.
I'm excited for the series. I don't know how that's going with COVID
I've heard anything
and
on
locking
that
things
since,
down. No, but I think that's possibly the best way that the story could be told.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I think that that sort of episodic, like we say, travelling around the country, getting into adventures is definitely a good way for this to continue.
Agreed. IMDb have it a lot lower. They have it at 13.
Wow, what do they know?
Yeah.
So dead 6.0. Number 3, getting into the top 3, is The Bad Batch.
Yeah. Again, it looks great. It's just a bit bonkers.
It's completely bonkers.
I also think, I don't know, again, maybe it got quite high because I think it surrounded, we'd had a few weeks of absolute shit. And then this popped up. I didn't even realise it was Jim Carrey.
I didn't. I was watching it thinking, I wonder when Jim Carrey's going to pop up. And he was literally on the screen whilst I said that.
It felt quite sort of comic booky. I don't know what you thought, Ross. And obviously owes a lot to Mad Max.
Yeah.
But it was fun times.
I had it quite a bit low. I think I don't know if it's the furthest distance. I've got it at, where is it, 15?
Oh, okay.
Quite a bit low down. I think it just, similar to the other way with the ones I've enjoyed, it just didn't hit me right. Because basically it's like Alice in Wonderland meets Mad Max.
Yeah.
And generally, I love that kind of, almost non-linear, just one character going in and out of stories, and just sort of fumbling about. This one just didn't get it for me. Yeah.
I think I even said at the time, it is style over substance.
Completely. Yeah, 100%.
But it does look good.
It's got a really good look to it. It's got Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, Jason Momoa.
Do you think we were starstruck because we're not used to this caliber of
maybe
of actor?
Who knows? Should we go to number 2?
Yeah.
Super Dark Times was at number 2. It was at number 1 for quite a while. Thoughts on Super Dark Times? Who wants to jump in?
I don't know what you guys were smoking on this one. It's
Really?
at 12 for me, just below I Kill Giants.
Wow.
I like that there is a bit of difference in Alice.
Yeah, definitely is.
It's not just the
What it's all
same,
about,
but
yeah.
I think you nailed it on that. And to be fair, I didn't consider this until I listened to the podcast about it's a serial killer story told from the perspective of the best friend. You're not seeing the, in quotes, the story. You are seeing the aftermath and the surrounding and somebody trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, is a really cool concept that just didn't click for me in this one. As I say, I didn't even figure that out until you guys said it. I was like, oh, okay, that's what they were going for. But
I do remember saying at the time that what I didn't like about it was the sudden lurch, because the villain is off screen the whole time. He's in the background. We don't know what his motivations are. We don't see what he's going through, and then he's sort of produced like a wild card at the end, isn't he?
Yeah.
Again, I thought it was very different to anything else we saw. I enjoyed it.
That's why I quite liked it, because I've never seen that done before. Tell it from the opposite perspective.
Yeah,
and keep him off
totally.
the screen. That's what really did it for me in this film. It was something I'd never seen before.
It did have one of the creepiest dream sequences.
Yes,
when he sees the kid who dies in his front room, and then he's sitting on him and stuff. That was genuinely chilling.
Yeah, it really was. I stand by the fact as well. I can't remember the guy's name. The main guy who plays the friend. I think he's one of the best acting performances we've seen since we started the show.
He does have to do a lot of heavy lifting in this.
His performance in that film is phenomenal.
I think the main three, the two obviously leads, but also the kid who just doesn't want anything to do with them. And who pops up to have a phone call, is like, no, don't call her again. And then he leaves the movie. I quite like that idea of somebody who's like, no, I'm getting on with my life now. Thank you.
and having said what I didn't like about it, what I did like about it was the fact that the movie made this town cut off.
Yeah.
So weird things were happening. I liked the kid that ran through the hall in tears. The weird girl in the library. The fact that the bridge was out, so they couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was little things like that just added to the overall atmosphere of it.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I wasn't any good.
IMDb have it at 4, so you're wrong on this one, Ross, I'm afraid.
Oh, damn. I'll have to speak to my people.
6.6 on IMDb currently. Which brings us to our number 1 film of this season, which is See You Yesterday. Thoughts?
I loved it.
Phenomenal film.
I mean, it was it's the right film for the right moment in time.
It did hit at the perfect time for us.
Again,
unusually so.
I was not expecting to get something that was so on the nose in terms of a social commentary. Criticisms of the police, racial injustice, the fact that was all there wrapped up in what I thought I was going to be watching a teen time travel movie.
Completely, I was expecting Spy Kids.
Definitely.
Yeah, Spy Kids.
It's exactly what I was expecting. Even the poster makes it look like Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who's wandered into this film not knowing it. This is the kind of film that I could have seen and just put on, not thinking about for my 5-year-old. Just being like, oh, it's time traveling kids, just watch this.
Yeah. That's quite a worrying thought when you think about it that way.
Just if I saw that poster. I assume it doesn't pop up on the kids' Netflix. I'm not checked,
I would hope
but I'm going to assume.
And it's Michael J. Fox in a time travel film.
Brilliant.
What more could you want?
Yeah, I mean, a million points to whoever convinced him to step in and do that cameo. Cause
I said during the episode,
awesome.
he must get offered that sort of thing all the time. Cameos like that all the time. So I'd love to know what made him go say yes to this one.
It was a warm hug seeing him.
It was.
It really was.
And I like the ending. I did like the ending. So it ends with our main character back off on her quest to change the past.
Yeah.
We now don't know if she's doing this for the 6th time or the 600th time.
Yeah.
I don't see how better you could have ended this movie.
Yeah.
Personally.
I agree. And like Ross, you mentioned earlier on, it does get a lot of stick for that in the reviews.
I just don't. I mean, it's a perfect, because looking into it, it's the idea that this shit may never be over. Like it's something that's been going on for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot more than somebody going back in time to fix things. It's going to take going forward to change.
Yeah. She could just do that for the rest of her life and never get it right. They had to leave it there. They had no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would feel like a cheat if either it ended with her giving up or it ended with her succeeding. I'd feel that
it cheapens
both be weak.
It would cheapen the film completely, and it wouldn't be as high on our stream table if they'd have ended it like that.
Yeah, and so this was a real sort of bolt from the blue, to be honest. Again, and didn't get what I was expecting at all, and that was a real pleasant surprise.
Indeed.
So yeah, I think it was a pretty worthy table.
I think it's a worthy winner as well. Ross, where did you have it?
I had it at 5. It was going to be around there. I think. I don't think Ganso, Fast Colour, Bon Cop, Bad Cop, and Aramentari wasn't on there at that point. Originally, it was Thoroughbreds was going to be in my top 5, and I really wanted it to be. But Aramentari pushed it out at the end. So yeah, it's all those top 5 for me are pretty interchangeably wonderful. I
mentioned earlier on, IMDb have it at 20.
I can't believe that.
It blows my mind, and I think it must just be because people are not getting what they expect out of it.
There's that, and also because I have my IMDb set to look at the 1-star reviews on anything that I go on to, because they're the most fun to read generally.
Always.
And I have great fun as I watch any of these movies, and as I read the headline, if it has certain words like woke, PC, anything like that, I just skip straight past it, because clearly they're coming from a different place from I am, and I saw a lot of that on this.
Yeah, I get that, I guess, but I love it. I thought it was really, really good. 5.1 on IMDb.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
I'm interested to see who that the young girl in it. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but what she's going to do next.
Yeah, be interesting to see where they end up. Neither of them have done anything before, so it'd be interesting to see if they do get anywhere from it.
That's even more impressive. Yeah, that's really good.
So that's it. That's the stream table for this season. What do you think overall?
I think we had a lot more dross, as in sort of middle of the road.
Agreed.
I think there's a big swathe of stuff sort of from 10 to probably about 22 that are pretty interchangeable. That's probably my takeaway. Also, the bottom 2 are 2 of the worst films I've ever seen.
IMDb, between 5.1 and 6.1, there's 10 films. So there are a lot of just middle of the road films in this stream table. So it'd be interesting if we can get a few lower ones next season.
But genuinely, I know we joked about this because it caused our sort of maths a bit of problems. But Bon Cop Bad Cop is one of my favourite things of the 75 films we've watched. It's right up there for me. I had such a good time.
Good time. Good. Aramentari is for me, and I've said it right this time. That's the hidden gem in this season's stream table for me. Completely.
I think, as I said on the chat the other day, I think the 2 high ones for me, Bon Cop, Bad Cop, and Aramentari, are, I think, higher for me than Hush and The Dawn Wall. Only just, maybe. And maybe I need to go back to watch them. But they pip it for me a little bit. Overall, I don't know if the rest of the stream table does the same for season 1 and season 2. But those 2 are they're high for me.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think overall, this is probably not as strong a group of 25 films.
Agreed.
But yeah, those 2 in particular are right up with anything we've watched, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Hush is still the best
See You
film
yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah, I think Hush is still the best film we've ever seen on the show. I won't hear that against that.
You won't hear that nonsense.
I won't hear
that was my top one on that stream table. That was one that I saw off my own back as well before it came up on the show. That is very good.
That's a fantastic film. So, talking of films, we should probably pick the first episode of season 4.
Let's do it,
because that's next week, isn't it?
I'm excited.
Ross, you get to be in on the
in on the
action here. What?
I'm in the inner circle.
I always ask Nick what he wants to see from the film. What are you hoping to get from this season 4, first film of season 4?
I want, and I might have to go out my way to try and get some of this on the long list, but I want more animation.
Okay, well, you're not going to get any of that because there isn't a lot.
Is there no more?
I think there might be one more. So
Right, I'm going away after this to have a look, and I'm going to add some more.
there is not a lot of there's not a lot of bottom of the stream animation, but I think
Yeah.
animated films tend to be watched.
Or there's quite a lot of big properties animated versions. So there's like Ninja Batman and a lot of the Marvel animations are on Netflix, but you know that doesn't really fit our criteria, I guess.
I'm up for watching more animation, so if anybody wants to add any to the long list, feel free. Nick, what are you hoping to get?
I think I've only been. I know we mentioned Fast Colour, made me cry. I'm quite an easy crier, but we've not had many films that have made me cry yet. So
That's a fair point.
I want to be, give me something that will tear me up a bit.
I want my popcorn to be wet.
Yep.
I want to be scared to shit. I want the shit scared out of me still,
Okay.
and it's still not happened. So hopefully we will get something. So I'm going to press the button. Is everybody ready?
Yes.
Ready?
It's picked iBoy.
Okay.
Anybody got any ideas?
Okay. Yeah. Have
you seen it, Ross?
I've not seen it.
Okay,
no,
good.
it was on my list, and then I took it off. I don't know why. It was just one of those. I'm like, I'm never going to get to this. Clearly, I am now.
You are going to get to it now.
If you tell me this is an AI film, I am going to lose my shit.
It's not. Well, it's not an AI film, as far as I can tell. It's not an AI film.
Do you want to know the synopsis?
Yes, please.
What do you think it is? Before I
I
Ross
have
obviously knows,
visions
but
of
you
a robot.
It says, after being shot, Tom awakes from a coma to discover that fragments of his smartphone have been embedded in his head. And worse, that returning to normal teenage life is impossible because he has developed a strange set of superpowers.
Okay.
So, guy gets phone stuck in head, becomes superhero. It's a Netflix
Yeah,
original.
that's basically it. Yeah.
It's got Maisie Williams in it.
Okay.
That looks alright. It runs for 1 hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes dead, and 6.0 on IMDb.
Okay.
So yeah, go out and watch iBoy. Oh, I'm not going to sign off yet because we don't know enough about Ross. So tell us who you are, Ross, what you do, and plug some shit for us.
My name is Ross Cooke. I am occasionally an artist, or drawer, as I like to call it.
A drawer?
I'm a drawer. You can find me Ross Cooke Comic Art. After many tries of different names, basically I would try a different name and then get made fun of on this podcast. And then,
what was your first one? It was really ridiculous. It was good.
It was like Ross _ Cook _ comic _ art. Like that.
I tried to plug you, and I was like, I'm not even plugging that.
So Ross Cooke Comic Art. Find me on Instagram. I have Twitter, but I hate Twitter. It's every time I go on there, I just get angry. So
It's the bad place.
occasionally everything, and I just pop on there to make a funny comment or put a GIF on something, and then shoot off. But yeah, IMDb, not IMDb. No, you can't find me on IMDb. I am not IMDb.
Ross is IMDb. Go to imdb.com.
On Instagram. So yeah, I like to draw. I draw silly things, and occasionally I try and do comics. I've got like 3 or 4 comics I've written scripts for, but I just need to sit down and actually draw the things. You'll see a lot more work coming up because Inktober is about to start next month.
Oh, awesome. I enjoyed that last year. That was fun.
And this time, to link it in with movies, I'm going to watch 31 movies, one a day, and draw a character from the movie.
Love it.
Watch.
Nice.
All based around like the prompts that they've got, and they're all movies I've not seen before as well. So like the first one, if I can remember, is Fish. So I'm watching The Shape of Water.
Oh, that's a great film. That's one of my favourite films.
So this is an excuse for me to just watch all these movies as well.
I love The Shape of
There's one that popped up I'd never heard of, and I was fascinated by. The prompt was I think it was disgusting or grotesque was the prompt word. So I was looking around. I found a lot of like German films that dealt with kind of scat or whatever.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't particularly want that. But I found one, and I cannot remember the name of it now, which is terrible. But it's a Dan Aykroyd Chevy Chase movie that I'd never seen before. I think it's Something Terrible, and it looks fascinating. Like Dan Aykroyd plays, I guess, a judge in a small town, and he's a dick for a nose.
Is this like early stuff from them?
Yeah,
That kind
I
of is
think
ringing a
80s.
bell for me.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, Dick for Nose. If you Google that, it'll come up.
There we go. Nothing But Trouble.
I've never heard of that, but it sounds fun.
1991. Budget was 40 million. The box office was 8.4. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow.
I think I may have seen that way back years and years ago.
Never heard of it.
Have fun.
I'm in for that. So yeah, I'm going to be drawing Dan Aykroyd with a dick for a nose part way through October. So.
Can't wait. We'll add them to our stories as well. So, but yeah, definitely check out Ross. He's an incredible artist, and he does all his art. All of the bottom of the stream artwork would have been done by Ross, and all of it in the future hopefully will be too. And he's wonderful, and he's so quick. You ask him to draw something, and he's like 10 minutes later, you've got it.
I know.
And it's like, how have you done that?
It's just very shoddy quality control.
That's not true at all. It's very awesome, and we love you for it. So yeah, check out Ross. Check out us. Did I do our socials?
You can do them now.
I'll do them now. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at BATS_podcast. I'm gonna stop using Facebook. I've stopped using it personally.
Right.
When I was on holiday, I didn't use any social media, and
That's
it felt
great, isn't it?
wonderful.
Yeah.
It was really good. So I'm not going to plug the Facebook anymore. The website's www.bottomofthestream.com, and you can check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/bottomofthestream, where for a few quid every month you can get some extra bonus episodes, some early access to episodes, some merch, and a wild card if you come in at a certain level. Ross,
It's worth it. Do it.
Ross is a Patreon. Has been since the very first day we launched it.
Yeah, especially check out the website because we got a few new things coming soon.
We
haven't we?
have. Should we say that now?
Yeah, do it. I'll just basically have.
We've got a whole brand new website coming. It should have been launched by now, but we're too lazy. But it should be ready by the start of season 4.
Yeah, new season, new website.
New season, new website. So
Why
it
not?
will still be bottomofthestream.com, obviously, but it will be a complete brand new redesign. It was my lockdown project. And also on there will be merch. So there's a tease for you. You'll be able to buy some Bottom of the Stream merch. So yeah, check it
Show
out.
my love.
We will let you know as soon as it is out there. I'm quite excited to get it out there. Quite excited.
I've got my bottom of the stream posing pouch
Awesome.
ready to go.
We'll get some pictures on Instagram of that.
Dan Aykroyd wears his on his head.
Yeah. The bottom of the stream merkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, the overnight. Right, let's get out of here. Thanks for listening. Go out and check out iBoy, and we'll come back next week to start season 4 and to talk about iBoy with you.
Cheers.
Cheers, bye.